We're going to wait just a couple of minutes so people can get on and join us this evening. Happy Monday. Feel free to say hi if you're here so I know who's here watching with me. My watch is telling me SoulShine's live, so hopefully other people are getting that notification right now too, and we'll start to see a couple more of you here. I linked the playlist, so if you want to quickly grab the playlist off of the SoulShine page, you can always do that. I use Spotify for my yoga playlist. We've got it's really an old one, but a little refreshed old one to use today. Hello, hello, welcome everybody. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine today. We're gonna get started in, we'll call it 30, 45 seconds or so. Again, feel free to say hi so I know you're here. Hi, Colleen. I'm glad you're here today. Happy Monday. Brand new week, fresh new start. Good stuff. We're going to start in a meditative seat today, so you're welcome to make your way to that place whenever you would like. If you are going to join in on the music, just make sure you have that Spring Rising playlist pulled up, ready to go. I'm going to scooch my way on back here. Hopefully I put my mat in a good place today. Allowing yourself to find that comfortable meditative space, whether that means crisscross applesauce or one foot's kind of in front of the other, or you move into some version of lotus, whether that's half lotus or full lotus. Find a space that's good for you. And I always love to kind of wiggle my way in once I start to find that space. You can even pull the flesh out from underneath your seat and really feel those sit bones root down to the ground. Again, we're using the Spring Rising playlist on Spotify, and I am going to press play in 3, 2, 1, and play. Alrighty, so coming into that comfortable meditative seat, let your hands fall where they fall. Maybe that's in your lap, maybe it's on your knees, palms up, palms down. It really doesn't matter. Find that space where you are most comfortable in this moment. Let your weight drop. So you're not lifting yourself so far out of that seat that you lose that grounded connection, but we really focus in the beginning here on grounding the sit bones down, grounding the energy down to the earth so we feel that strong connection. We root down so strongly that we can rise throughout the rest of class. In this meditative seat, allow yourself to let your eyes fall closed. Maybe once the eyes fall closed, you'll feel where you're lifting yourself even a little bit more, and you can drop into those sit bones even more. And then become aware of your breath. Noticing the breath first. Maybe you instantly needed a cleansing breath. Maybe you instantly moved into your yoga breath. Maybe you just noticed the breath. Maybe it's a little short and choppy. Maybe it's long and deep, full of depth today. Don't worry about judging what the breath is doing. Just become aware of the breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to switch to a nose-to-nose breath. Letting the inhales come in through the nose. And the exhales move out of the nose. These inhales and exhales will slowly build upon one another. So we don't need to come into a super deep breath right away. Just allow it to happen one breath at a time. And as you're finding this nice rhythmic nose-to-nose breath, start to bring some awareness into your spinal column. And if the body shifts with that awareness, allow that to happen. We found those roots, and now we're going to allow that spine to stack. Letting each one of the vertebrae align just on top of its neighbor, allowing yourself to take any small twists or side bends or rolls or whatever it is your body needs to find that alignment it's searching for. One breath at a time. Coming all the way up through the crown of the head so the chin's parallel with the ground. Maybe a gentle squeeze of those shoulder blades on the back, drawing the belly button in. Starting to feel some strength in the spine throughout the core as you breathe that breath in and out through the nose. Noticing where you might be carrying some tension in the body. Maybe in the cheeks, around the mouth, down the shoulders, or in the hips. Just giving your body permission to release that tension, to soften at the very least that tension. Knowing that you are okay right where you are, and it's okay to be right where you are. Feel that breath move in, and feel that breath move out. Feel that long, lengthened spine. And start to feel that center line of the body, your Sushumna. Start to feel it open up, expanding with each inhale, allowing more breath to move through that center column. Tracing that breath up and down the spine. Take a moment here if you like to set an intention for your practice. Maybe you leave your hands where they are. Maybe you bring your hands to your heart. Maybe you bow in your chin. But giving yourself the opportunity to set an intention for the next 45 minutes. Setting an intention for each breath, for each posture. Why are you here today? Today, as a studio, we posted a video about how we're finding peace in these moments. So maybe that's the intention today, is to hold peace, to find peace. Maybe it's simply to focus on the breath. Maybe it's to feel your feet on the earth. Whatever your intention is, seal it right down into your heart. And then feel that intention move through the whole body, expanding from that heart space down through the belly, the back, the hips, down the legs to the bottoms of the feet. Out that heart space, up across the chest, down the arms to the fingers, and up the neck through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. When you're ready, use an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Maybe the palms come to touch, maybe they don't. Either way is just fine. Shoulder blades stay down the back, hug the ribs in, reach those fingertips up high. Just breathe here. Feel that breath move across the fronts of your arms, really the backs of your arms, the triceps, right up to those pinky fingers. And as you exhale, send it back down to your hips. Inhale reaches those fingers high. And then as you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. And as you exhale, draw the hands to heart center. You could keep the hands here. You could let the palms face up on your knees. We're going to take a little neck stretch. So take an inhale. And with an exhale, just take your right ear to your right shoulder. Trying not to lift either of the shoulders. Allowing yourself to stay heavy in your seat. Getting a nice little stretch down the left side. If you want a little bit more, you can take that left arm out into T. And then as you exhale, just slowly lower that arm down towards the ground. If you added the arm, inhale to take it back out. And exhale, lower it down. Inhale, come back through center. And then exhale, take your head over to the other side. And again, option to add in the right arm with the inhale. And exhale to lower it down. One more time. Inhaling that arm out. And exhale to lower down. Inhaling the head back through neutral. This time with an exhale, just tuck the chin. Taking the chin towards that little crevice between your collarbones. Feeling your body weight drip down towards your tailbone. Letting the back of the neck and the back of the heart space open up here. Soften the muscles in your face. Relax into the stretch. Don't force it. Use an inhale, come back up through center with the crown of the head. And as you exhale, just settle into your hips. Hands are going to come to the knees, palms down if they're not already there. And we're going to work some cat-cows in this seated position. So as you inhale, you're going to press your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chin towards the sky. And then as you exhale, round in, pull your belly button towards your spine as you take your spine to the wall behind you. Inhale to lift the hips, lift the chin as you press the chest forward. And then as you exhale, round your tailbone and your chin towards each other as you pull back on those knees. Two more just like this. Inhaling to lift, nice arch in the back. And then exhale to round through. One more just like that. Exhaling back. Inhale to come back through neutral. We're going to start to move through those hips. So as you exhale, start to lean towards the left side, and we're going to roll through the body. Inhaling to come back through center, and then exhaling to take it around. Continuing these little circles. We're going to take 5 to each side. So that was 3. 2 more. Allowing yourself to move through the space in your spine that feels good to you. Maybe they're a little bit smaller. Maybe they're low in the hips. Maybe it's coming high up into the chest and shoulders. Going around, taking it to the other side. Taking 5 in both directions. Opening up through that back, through the hips, through the chest and the shoulders. One more. And then letting yourself come back and find center with the spine. Ground the energy down to the earth. Use an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. As you exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Inhale sweeps the arms up overhead. This time as you exhale, we're going to plant the hands in front of the knees and roll ourselves forward into a tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Moving through our cat-cows here. Inhales, lift the hips, drop the belly, open the heart. And exhales, round everything in like a scaredy Halloween cat. Inhales, lift the hips, drop the belly, open the heart. And exhales, round you in. Tailbone towards your chin, chin towards your tail. Continue to move through these cat-cows. Feel that connection of your hands to the ground underneath you. Press into the palms. Feel your hips open up as you press back. And thinking about slightly drawing the knees away from each other. They're not really going to move, but we can create space in the hips here. If you prefer to take some C shapes, looking over one shoulder than the other, or some hip circles, let the space be what you need it to be. 2 more rounds of breath. With your next inhale, come through that neutral tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, belly buttons drawn in, ribs hugged in towards each other. Reaching through the crown of the head, we'll find spinal balance, right arm and left leg reaching in opposite directions here. Trying to keep it forward. With an exhale, take your elbow and your knee together underneath you. Inhale for length. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale for length. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, get long. This time as you exhale, see if you can take your hand and your foot wide in opposite directions. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take them to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale to center, hang out here. Find that center, find that strong line from your tailbone all the way out through your fingertips. With an exhale, take your right hand down to the ground. Left leg's going to stay lifted. Use an inhale, lift that left leg. And as you exhale, take it to the right, taking your gaze over your right shoulder. Breathe here. Use an inhale, come back through center. And as you exhale, take that foot over to the left. Breathe here. Shoulders down away from the ears, pressing through the palms. Inhale, come back through center. One breath, one movement. Exhale, tap to the right. Inhale to lift. And exhale, tap to the left. Inhale to lift. Exhale to the right. Taking it to both sides. One more time. To the right. And to the left. When you find that foot planted on the left side, we're going to plant all four corners down on the ground so we have extension through that leg. And then inhale, lift your heart, lift the chest. Hips are right underneath your shoulders, foot's grounded. Draw your belly button in. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, take them behind your head. Inhale to lift through the crown. And as you exhale, tip to the right side. Inhale to center. And exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Strong, beautiful breath. One more time to both sides. Inhaling back through center, take those arms up overhead. As you exhale, plant your hands down on the ground. Inhale that left leg behind you, and then exhale, step the left knee right next to the right. Spinal balance on the other side. Inhale the left arm, right leg, opposite direction. Square the hips, square the chest, draw the belly button in. With an exhale, take your elbow and knee together. Inhale, get long. Exhale to crunch. Inhale, get long. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, get long. This time we're going to take it wide in opposite directions. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale to center. Hold it here. Go ahead and take that left hand back down to the ground. Inhale, lift that right leg. And exhale, tap it to the left. Stay here. Breathe here. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale to lift through center, and exhale, tap to the right. Stay here, breathe here. And then one breath, one movement. Inhale to lift, exhale to tap. Inhale to lift, exhale to tap. Taking it one more time through. Tapping to the left, and then landing with that leg out long to the right side, all four corners planted down on the ground. Use an inhale to lift your heart. Tailbone underneath you, draw your belly button in. Breathe into that long, lengthened, stacked spine. Inhale, sweeps the arms up. As you exhale, take your hands behind your head. Inhale to lift. Exhale, tip to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Two more times to both sides. Beautiful. Last one here. Inhaling back through center. With an exhale, taking the hands back down to the ground. Inhale that right leg out behind you. And then exhale. Tabletop position. Let's take a couple of cat-cows here. Inhales, lift the hips, drop the belly, open the heart. Exhales, round in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. One more here. When you finish this last one, you'll come to that neutral tabletop, curl your toes under, and with an exhale, you'll press your hips up towards the sky as you press back through those heels, pressing through your palms and coming into that down dog. Soft bend in the knees as always. Hips are reaching towards the sky, belly button's drawn in, and the ribs aren't flaring forward, but they're tucking towards the hips. And then we're pressing through the palms, letting that chest drop back towards the thighs, and breathe. Be aware of what you feel in your body right here, and do your best not to judge it, but just to breathe into it. To accept what you feel in your body, and then to send that breath with love to all the spaces that maybe seem to grab on a little bit or give you a little bit of trouble. Just tell your body, I see you, I love you, and we're in this together. Breathe. Use an inhale, come up to your toes, look between your hands, and as you exhale, tiptoe those feet towards the front of the mat until you come all the way into that forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up, hands to the shins or to the thighs. Maybe they even stay down on the ground. Breathe here. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Draw your belly button in. Feel the activation in your core here because it should be working. With an exhale, fold in, soft bend in the knees. Maybe you shake your head yes or no. Maybe you grab onto opposite elbows. Maybe your arms come around your legs. What is it that you need today? Be aware of your feet and where your weight lands in them. Finding your weight even in all four corners of your feet. Balanced weight between your right foot and your left. Press into those feet. Use an inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Inhale sweeps the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to T-twist to the right. So take your right hand back, left hand forward. Gaze is going to look towards your right fingers. Shoulders are dropped away from the ears. The core is tight, and we're twisting through the spine. Hips are staying glued to the front, and we twist one vertebra at a time. With an inhale, lift your left arm, drop your right. Taking your gaze down your back, down towards those right fingers. Breathe here. Reach those fingertips in opposite directions. And with an exhale, take your left hand down to the ground. We're going to stay twisted. Put a bend in your left knee. Left hand finds the earth. We've still got this nice long T, opening up the chest. Beautiful. Pressing into your feet, use an inhale, come all the way back up to center, lift your chin, lift your chest, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise all the way up, sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Remind yourself of your intention. Find that stacked spine, tailbone underneath you. Inhale, sweeps the arms up overhead. Exhale, T-twist to the left. Right hand forward, left hand back. Gaze looks for your left fingers. Shoulders down away from the ears. Gently squeeze together on the back. Inhale, right arm high, left arm low. Reaching those fingertips in opposite directions. With an exhale, tip it forward. Right hand finds the ground. Soft bend in that right knee. Gaze looking up at those left fingers. Extending through the neck, long lengthened spine, finding that rotation all the way through the neck so the gaze looks up towards that lifted hand. Press evenly into your feet, use an inhale, rise all the way up, lift your chin, lift your chest, open your heart, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop your feet to the back of the mat, top of a plank, hold here. Press the heels back, Draw the belly button in, wrists right underneath the shoulders. If you need to come down to your knees, you come down to your knees, but it doesn't mean all of our weight drops at our knees and we release our core. We find that plank and then we set the knees on the ground and we almost think about just barely hovering them, so we stay really active and strong and we're gaining strength and not surrendering into giving up in this posture. Whether you're down on your knees or your knees are lifted, we're going to take a Chaturanga Dandasana. So corkscrew your hands into the ground so you hug those triceps in. Exhale, lower your heart. Find 90 degrees with your elbows. Inhale, roll the heart open towards the sky. Find the tops of your feet on the ground. Stay here. Breathe here. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on the back. Think about pressing your sternum forward. Maybe you even press into your feet so you lift those thighs up off of the ground. Curl your toes under. Press back, down dog. Breathe here. Take the moment to find the breath and to find your alignment. Press through those palms, lift the hips high, draw the belly button in, chest towards the thighs. Use an inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky, and then go ahead, bend, twist, open. Try to kick yourself in the bottom. Maybe take your ankle for a twirl. Keep your weight even in both hands. Use an inhale, come back through three-legged dog. Square the hips and the chest. And as you exhale, take that right foot all the way up between your hands. Set it down as quietly as you can. We're going to come down to the back knee, untuck the toes. This right knee is right over top of the right ankle. Squeeze your inner thighs together, draw your belly button in, and inhale, come up to your crescent, kneeling crescent pose. Reaching your heart up towards the sky, cupping the armpits in, not dumping into the low back, but lifting towards the ceiling. Breathe. With an exhale, take your hands down to the ground, tuck the back toes under, extend that leg out long. Left hand's gonna stay where it is. Inhale the right arm up towards the sky, dragonfly twist. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Draw your belly button in. Active through that back leg, pressing through the heel. Letting your gaze look right at the tip of that right thumb and letting the rest of the world fade away. Our next posture is going to be extended side angle. So with an exhale, you're going to take your right forearm to your right thigh. Your back foot's going to pivot to 90 degrees. And then with an inhale, we're going to open that left arm up towards the sky. And you can stay right here. If you want to explore this, you could take your left fingertips towards the wall where your head is going, taking your bicep towards your ear. We want to keep thinking about rolling the heart open, so we're not collapsing in here, but we're opening up. So pull that left shoulder back. If you have the space in your hips, you can always take that right hand right down to the ground. Breathe. From here, we're going to find Sky Archer. So feel your feet pressing into the ground. We're going to inhale to rise. Left hand's going to grab the right wrist, and we're going to pull back. So on the other side, we talked about opening the left side of the body open. Here we're lifting the right side of the heart up towards the sky. Hips are underneath you, so we're not pushing them way out behind, but underneath, and then we get this beautiful stretch in the side body. Breathe. Find all four corners of your left foot down on the ground. We're going into tiger lunge at the back of our mat. So we're going to find a bend in that left knee. Right toes are going to come up off of the earth as we sit low. Hands can be at the heart. Hands can come down to the ground for support. You might be on your toe. You might be on your heel. Maybe you see, maybe you fall. If you fall, it's okay. You just use your hands, help yourself get right back up. Draw your belly button in. Reach through the crown of your head. It's okay if you wobble. Trickiest part of this flow, if you ask me, we're going to have to get really strong here. We're moving into star pose. So from here, we're going to come all the way up, toes pointing out towards the corners of your mat, fingers reaching in opposite directions. 5 points to the star, your feet, your hands, and your head. So press your feet in opposite directions. Reach your fingers in opposite directions and then reach through the crown of your head. Breathe. We're going to bring the hands to heart center. Heels are going to kick in just the littlest bit and we're going to sit into a goddess squat. Draw the belly button in. Tailbone right down to the ground. Hands can come to your heart. You could take them to your hips. You could find cactus. Breathe. At this point, you should be building a little bit of heat in the body. The breath should be necessary to carry you. So if you're breathing strong, it's all good. Use an inhale, stand tall, reach those fingers high. Exhale, goddess squat. Reaching the knees in opposite directions, knees tracking over the toes, pulling the hips open so the knees are almost pulling towards the back. Use an inhale, come all the way back up. You're going to point your right toes towards the right wall, and then exhale. Find equal standing pose at the top of your mat. Breathe. Feel your feet. Feel the engagement of your legs. Draw your belly button in, shoulders down the back, reaching up through the crown of the head. Use an inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop your feet back, top of a plank, hold here. Shoulders down away from the ears, spread those fingers wide, index fingers forward. Draw your belly button in. Breathe. Whether you stay lifted or come down to your knees, with your next exhale, we take our Chaturanga Dandasana, so lower the heart. Inhale, roll those shoulders together on the back, press through the palms, lift through the crown of the head. Breathe here. And with your next exhale, curl your toes under, press back, down dog. Use an inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend, twist, open. Try to kick yourself in the bottom. Keep your weight even in your hands. Feel that beautiful side body stretch. Point your knee just a little bit higher towards the sky. Inhale back through strong, three-legged dog. Square the hips, square the chest. And as you exhale, bring the foot all the way up between your hands, setting it down as quietly as you can. Come down to your back knee, untuck your toes, squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale, lifts the heart, kneeling crescent. Check in, make sure your hips aren't pressing way out behind you, but we get that hip flexor stretch by gently pressing the hips forward and then reaching the heart up towards the sky. You could always come to interlace your fingers here. Breathe. With an exhale, take your hands down to surround your foot. Tuck your right toes under, extend that leg out long. Right hand's gonna stay on the ground. Inhale your left arm up to the sky. Dragonfly twist. Stay active through that right leg. Keep drawing the belly button in, twisting yourself in even deeper. Don't let that right shoulder collapse towards the knee, but keep it pulled down the back. With an exhale, left forearm to the left thigh. Pivot your back foot to 90 degrees. Inhale, find that extended side angle. If you want more, take that right hand out towards the wall in front of you, or in the direction of your head. Not dumping into that left shoulder, but pressing away from the leg, creating space in the hips, pressing your feet in opposite directions. Draw your belly button in, pull that right shoulder back, gaze towards your fingers. Star pose, pulling that left wrist back with the right hand. Hips aren't behind you, but underneath you, and find that beautiful side body stretch. Breathe. Finding that right foot, all four corners. Pop your left toes, coming down to the right leg. tiger lunge. From here, star pose, inhale, stand tall, and then exhale, goddess squat. Draw your belly button in, knees pulling back, heart open. Spread your fingers wide, find strength all across your heart. Breathe. Can you drop just a little bit lower? Don't give up. Let yourself feel the fire, yeah? And then be stronger than it. You can do this. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, drop right back in, even lower than you were before. Find that spinal alignment. Breathe. Two more breaths. Use an inhale, reach those hands tall, left toes to the front of the mat, and then close it off, Samastitihi. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step or hop back. Either take a half vinyasa or press back to down dog. Either way, we meet in down dog. Inhale to your toes. As you exhale, lower your knees, hover them an inch above the earth, shoulders right over top of your wrists. And then come all the way down to your knees. Walk your knees over to one side, come onto the opposite hip, and then circle those legs around. Inhale, sweeps the arms up overhead. Draw your belly button in. And as you exhale, fold out forward. Letting your peace fingers come to find your big toes, or your thumbs come right underneath the base of your toes, opening up your feet. Allowing yourself to fold in, finding that nice hamstring stretch. Beautiful. Use an inhale to roll yourself back on up one vertebra at a time. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug here. Draw your belly button in, shoulders on your back. So squeezing into the tightest little ball you can squeeze into. Point your toes. Draw your belly button in. So your heels aren't on the ground anymore, just the toes. Release this hug. Maybe you take cupcake fingers. You should feel this in your core already, and we're not leaning way far back, but we're keeping it in nice and tight here. Squeeze your inner thighs together. You can stay right here if this is enough for you, or you can straighten out those legs, or you can keep them a little bit bent. You can lift those hands. Find your boat pose. Draw your belly button in. Lift your collarbones towards the sky. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together. Breathe. Maybe you can straighten those legs a little bit more. With an exhale, lower down a third of the way. Hot power move right here. Breathe in. Lower down a third of the way, hover. Breathe. Draw your belly button down to the ground, hollow through. And then inhale, lift all the way back up, boat pose. Not back here, lift it up. Use your hands if you have to. Lift it up. Breathe. Take an inhale. With an exhale, lower down a third of the way. Breathe in. Lower down, hover above the earth. Draw your belly button down. With an exhale, come all the way down. Pull your knees in, give yourself a hug. Plant your feet right behind your hips, really close to your bottom. Arms down by your sides. We're gonna move into a bridge pose. Before we lift all the way, press into your feet. Tuck your tailbone towards your chin. Lower back down. Feel your sacrum on the ground. Feel your low back on the ground. Keep this core engagement as you lift. Inhale, press into your feet. Lift the hips. Tailbone still towards the chin. Walk those shoulder blades together underneath you. Maybe you interlace fingers. Maybe not. Breathe. Shoulders down away from the ears. Pressing equally through both of your feet. Breathing steady. With With an exhale, lower your hips down to the ground. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. We lift right back up. Inhale to lift, tailbone towards your chin. Walk those shoulder blades together underneath you. Breathe. Press those hips just a little bit higher. See if you're gripping with your toes, let them go. See if you're gripping in your face, let it go. Lower your hips back down to the ground. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. We're going to take the arms out into T or into cactus arms. Knees over top of the hips. And with an exhale, let those legs drop over to the right side. Shoulders stay on the ground. Gaze looks over towards the left if that feels good for you. Breathe here. Come back to that easy, steady breath you had in the very, very beginning of class. Come back to breathing into that open spinal column. Use an inhale, pull your knees back through center. And with an exhale, just take them over to the other side. This time, gaze looks over towards the right. Shoulders soft down on the ground. Feel that openness in your body, allowing yourself to receive the light of the breath, creating space in the body for you to live in, creating freedom from the inside, one breath at a time. You are not stuck. You are not trapped. Feel the breath move right through you. Use an inhale, come back through center, pull those knees in towards the chest, give yourself a hug. If you want to take a happy baby or a candlestick pose, take whatever it is that you need. And then when you're ready, we're going to lay it down, coming into that Shavasana pose, letting our feet fall to the outside edges of our mat, letting our arms come down by our sides, palms face up towards the sky, eyes fall closed. We release the breath, so if you need a nice cleansing breath, a deep inhale in through the nose, and an exhale out of the mouth here, go ahead and take it. Soften through the bottoms of the feet, through the shins, through the knees, through the backs of the legs and the hips. Relax the belly. Rest the shoulders down on the ground and feel the back of the head heavy. This posture is all about letting go. So we can do what we just talked about. We can allow the body to soften so much that it just opens up to receive. So that the breath of life can move right through us without us even having to ask for it. Let your eyes fall heavy to the back of your head. Let your tongue come off the roof of your mouth. For a couple of moments, allow yourself to just be still. Just be open. Right here. In your yoga rest. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body, starting with your breath. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, your ankles and your wrists, bringing some larger movement into your limbs. Maybe take the head side to side. And we'll stretch the arms and legs out in opposite directions. Take the biggest breath you've taken all day. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Hold it. And let it go. Go ahead, pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big, big squeeze. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a nice big hug. Take a moment to tell yourself you love yourself. You are so dang worthy of your own love, so tell yourself you love yourself. Slowly rock and roll your way forward and back until you come all the way up to a comfortable seat. Let your sit bones land. Your hands fall where they fall. Maybe your eyes are open, maybe your eyes are closed. Take a moment to just feel this space, feel your breath. There's one thing I want you to know right now is that you are not alone in what you're feeling. If you look it up, the vibration's lifting. The heaviness that we're feeling is all serving a purpose so that we can let it go. We can breathe lighter. We can feel lighter. We can live lighter. Let this time serve you. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like, experience it the way you need to experience it. So you can release what you're ready to release. And together, we can start to bring even more light to this planet. When you're ready, bring your hands to heart center, thumbs press against your sternum, bow in your chin, and recognize that beautiful, brilliantly bright light that shines in the center of your heart. Send it all the way down to the tips of your toes. Let it ride all the way up your spine, all the way up to your shoulders, out to the tips of your fingers, all the way up to the tip-top crown of your head as you lift your chin and lift your chest, and let your heart light shine out into the world, into your home, into the people you love. The light and the love within my heart humbly bows to the same light and love inside every single one of yours. Thank you so much. Namaste. Happy Monday. Go get some sunshine. Thanks for being here.